How to deal with imposter syndrome at work. We're gonna hit 5 ways you can do that. When we can live life on our terms, on a holistic level, taking into account not just our business lives, but also our health, all of our relationships, from friends, family, partners, the world changes. All right, so I've been an executive coach for pushing a lot of years. I've worked with hundreds and hundreds of people all over the world. And imposter syndrome is one of those things that, you know what, people like to talk about, but everybody's dealing with it. There are so many people who end up in a position and they're just like, oh, Jesus, I'm faking it. And they feel like they're faking it most of the time. So one of the first steps is to embrace that most people are having it. And in fact, the people who seem to be the loudest and the most aggressive often are those who have it in the biggest way. So what I'm going to suggest is, once you start to acknowledge, okay, others are probably in this position, fair enough, own it. But remember, you've been elevated to that position for one reason or another. And if you can then start to become champions for others, if you know that other people are probably feeling this as well, what you can do is start to be curious. And how can you work on being a champion with others? Understanding that if they're coming from that position, if you think about your competition at your office or whatever it is, even if maybe sometimes you guys are butting heads, understanding that they likely have that same experience. Say, hey, you know what? Help me understand where you're at with that. How can I help you with that? How can you put yourself in their shoes to understand what's it like for them to be feeling imposter syndrome? And then on the flip side, how can you start to become their champion and help them? Now, the purpose of this is A, it's going to help and you'll actually start becoming a better leader, because that's one of the things that leaders will do. But B, it's going to model the behaviors you're looking for to have people come back to you with. So the first step is making sure that you understand that most people are probably dealing with it. Second is transition to being curious, putting yourself in somebody else's shoes and trying to help, and how can you help them be their champion so that they start feeling stronger and better about themselves. It'll come back for you as well. The next thing, and this is one of those things that's really hard for people to understand, it took me years to embrace this, is that it's okay to not know everything. It's okay to say, I don't know, I'm not sure, or what do you think? Meaning, anybody who says they know everything is full of shit. So you'll see the really smart leaders will be like, I don't know, what do you guys think? But the thing that's different is that it's okay to say, I don't know, but have the confidence, have a humble swagger that says, look, I don't really understand. I don't know for sure, but I am confident we'll figure it out. And this is where you can ask other people, recruit their help. And if you started doing what we said in that second step by becoming their champions, they're going to help you in return, and it's going to help elevate the entire team. And you're going to start becoming a better leader. The fourth thing is remembering that sometimes, maybe you do have some holes in your game, and that's okay, but how can you improve those? Competence builds confidence. When we are competent in something, we are confident and we don't have imposter syndrome. When you're brand new driving a car with a learner's permit, you're faking it. You aren't competent yet. Therefore, you're nervous and you feel like, oh God, should I be driving? I'm not safe, unless you're a 16-year-old male. But for a lot of people though, what are those things that you do need to focus to build competence? And this is where, if you have even a decent manager, you say, look, I don't quite understand what they're saying in these books or these kinds of things. Where can I learn to get better? How can you go over and above to get better so that you can improve, so that you can become competent at it? The more competent you are with things, the more confidence you'll have. And when you have that confidence, imposter syndrome goes away. And then lastly, and this one's silly, but it's true, act as if. Act as if you're there. Remember, the people who've put you in that seat, they believed in you in one way or another. Even if it's like, yeah, we just fired Joe and you're stepping up, good luck. Well, you may be the best alternative, but you are still their best alternative. And with that, be curious and act as if you got this. Don't be afraid of saying, I don't understand. But own it and drive it. Don't be rude, don't be arrogant, but have that humble confidence as you walk through. So if you go through these 5 steps, First, embracing that most people do have some sort of imposter syndrome they're dealing with. Second, be curious, put yourself in their shoes and see how you can become their champion to model the behaviors you want to see in return. Third, remember it's okay to not know everything. It's okay to say, not sure, what do you think? But as long as you are confident that you'll be able to help negotiate and figure out how you're going to figure it out. Fourth, competence builds confidence. And lastly, act as if you got it. The more you do this, step by step by step, you'll be able to work into getting through where you don't have to worry about how you're going to deal with that imposter syndrome consistently at work. Keep smiling.